The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Attention Ditto Heads. Attention Bo Scouts.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
It's time for the soul of excellence.
He is a radio host here in New York.
The Rush Hour is on the air.
Rush.
Now here's James Golden.
Well, this is usually where we play the clip of the day. There was no clip of the day today because so much stuff is going on, but it wasn't clip-worthy. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Friday edition, it's Friday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour, fastest hour in American media. My phone started ringing early in the morning. The text messages were going off. Ding, 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 ding. What have you to say now, James? Everything, these are from my friend. I have a lot of friends that disagree with me politically, and we're still friends, and I love them very, very much, and they love me very, very much, I assume. No, they tell me they do, and I believe them, because we do love each other. But anyway, ding, 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 ding. Did you see what your president posted? How are you going to defend this one? How are you going to defend? And then, did you hear what his press secretary said? How are you going to defend this? Everything we've been telling you about him and white supremacy and what is true. And here's the proof today. All right, what are you talking about here? So I looked. And at first, it was only 2 or 3 headlines. Right now, it's all over the place. It has been all over the place. Full scale, red alert. Trump's racist post about Obama is deleted after backlash, despite White House earlier defending it. Trump deletes Obama ape video. And Trump shares video that includes racist depiction of the Obamas, sparking backlash. Oh. And then there are more. Tim Scott calls Obama's video shared by Trump most racist thing I've ever seen out of this White House. So when it started, I started being bombarded with all of these text messages and calls. I simply said one thing. I'm not going to defend it. I'm not going to defend something that's indefensible. Look, I happen to be an American who is black. And I am proud of my heritage, both as an American and as a black person, or if you really want to get technical, mixed race person, but mostly black. In America, I mean, you start delving through the DNA, and most of us find that these labels have very little meaning as to who we are from a quote-unquote, the racial construct anyway is something. But anyway, but I'm not going to defend it. Why would I defend it? I think it's reprehensible. I think the post was reprehensible. I think the post cannot be defended. I think that I don't understand what it has accomplished except giving fuel to a notion that this White House is sympathetic to racist. And it goes beyond that with many people. And this is where I draw a disagreement. Well, that means Trump is a racist. No, I'm not going there at all. Racism, to me, has come to represent something that you do. Not symbols. It's what you do. You can speak all the beautiful flowery words about people and how much you love them, but if your actions show that you do not love them, and your actions show that you mean to harm them or have harmed them, that's what matters. Am I justifying this? No. I've had friends send me over the years some of these memes that come out of Michelle Obama, and I talked about it on the program. I, for years, have had people on the conservative side of the aisle send me all this crap about Michelle Obama being a man. And I have responded to it by telling these people I think is outrageous, that I think it's horrible that they would think this or spread around memes like this. But at the same time, we live in an age where people spread memes, and some of them are funny and some of them are not, about all sorts of things. Are you justifying? No, I'm not justifying anything. I'm not justifying it. But this is the reality that we live in. Memes are everywhere, and some of these memes are offensive. They just plain are. I have found, the memes about black people being apes and being monkeys is something that, if you're black and you're American and you're of a certain age, you've been dealing with this crap all your life. And people that don't share the experience that black people have in America, sometimes, oh, there they go again, complain. Okay, fine, that's your attitude, but it's something that black people have been dealing with all their lives. And by the way, let us not just point the fingers outward. The things that some black people say about other black people is something that we deal with all our lives. Some of the things that I have said about other black people, I wouldn't say on the radio. A certain type of person. And these discussions are within groups. This is the real stuff. We talk about stuff with each other that in some cases, when you get together a group of people, that we would not want repeated elsewhere. Is it right to publish these things from the office of the presidency if you're president? No, it's not. Is it defensible? No, it's not. Does that mean that I'm going to be anti-Trump? No way. Does that mean that I forsake all of my past support of Donald Trump? Nope, not at all. Not at all. In fact, it makes me focus on what is important about this presidency for black people and for all Americans. We had a talk last week with Princess Diana about these baby accounts. There's no color line on that. This is a mechanism that will allow future generations of black Americans to give a firm financial start to their children. It's coming from the guy that today is being pilloried as being a white supremacist, being racist. No Democrat in American history has ever suggested anything like this that would be a wealth builder for every American, but particularly for black Americans from the day they are born, and allow for these people, when they reach age of 18 through 21, to actually step out, start their own businesses, start a life, and enjoy their birthright as prosperous American citizens, if they take advantage of it. Is that more important about a meme from a president, by the way? And I'm not justifying the meme by saying this, but let's keep this in mind too. Obama tried to take Trump out with a coup. He tried to take the president of the United States out with this phony Russia collusion coup that we still have not gotten to the bottom of, and spying not just on that campaign, but on the incoming president, this phony Russia hoax, all the lawsuits that followed. Donald Trump has had everything in the world thrown at him. Does it make the theme right? No, it doesn't make the meme right. Is it an excuse for the meme? No, it's not. The things are independent. But I'm saying let's keep the total picture in mind. What the Trump administration is trying to do with immigration will profoundly benefit not just African Americans, but it will have profound impacts on black communities all around America. Why? Because jobs, the cost of housing, the cost of education, and everything else that has been skewed out of whack in American society, making the American dream unattainable for so many people because of policies that the Democrat Party put in place and keep in place to suppress, for their own power, that suppress the prospects of black American enjoying the full freedoms that they earn as being American citizens, and that their ancestors, our ancestors, have earned, in some cases, with their lives, against Democrat Jim Crow, against Democrat slavery, and that's what it was, against Democrat hostility. So I don't want to have any confusion about where I'm coming from with this, and I say this to my friends that are on the other side. I think it's awful. I think the meme was awful. I'm not excusing it. I think it's terrible. Am I offended? Well, offending me takes a lot. Because I've been through so many. I've been called every name in the book by white liberals, from Uncle Tom, this to that, to this to that, and I've learned to ignore this stuff. And yes, I've been called the N-word any number of occasions on social media by white liberals, by black liberals. I've been called every name in the book. So am I offended? I've learned a long time ago, if I'm offended by every little thing, I'm not going to have a good life, and I want a good life. So I don't get offended by stuff that offends other people. But do I understand why people are offended? Yes, I understand why people are offended. Do I understand why people are not buying it was a junior person? Because usually if a junior person makes a misstep like that, the junior person's out the door that day with a big public announcement. This was the culprit, we kicked him out. Thing is telling that didn't happen. But am I going to sit here and just rant and rave on how awful Donald Trump is? No, because he's not awful. Am I going to sit here and say that this administration is full of white supremacists that don't? No, because what they're doing in policy shows that they want every American to prosper and to benefit by their actions. And actions are louder than words. And guess what, my friends? Actions are also louder than memes. Even the ugly, heinous, vile, reprehensible meme. Actions, memes. Actions are louder than memes. Am I excusing it? No. Does it make me wonder, why? Why bother with that? With so many other things on the table? Yes. Am I going to denounce the President of the United States? Oh, hell no. Will I denounce this particular action? Yes. And that's all I want to say. Well, that may not be all I want to say about it, but that's some of what I want to say about it. James Golden Snerdley with you. 800. Well, I started to give phone numbers. That's tomorrow. We're coming right back. Don't go away.
Rush. This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Bo Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our country has to offer, especially health care. Across every state, every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
I guess my next move is to get in front of a camera with a microphone and do the last thing on this planet that I want to do. I don't want to be a politician. I hate them. But you made me do it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you and your right-wing policies are making this woman become a politician against her will. And yeah, I have friends, some people that are texting me, what's going on here? They hadn't heard or seen the video that was the meme that was posted, not created by, posted on True Social and then deleted after the outcry began of the Obamas as apes. And the outcry in AACP, a friend of mine sent me they're posting it. This is what Trump really thinks about black people, especially during Black History Month. A stark reminder of how Trump and his followers truly view people, and we'll remember that in November from the NAACP. Well, you know what? Here's something I'm going to remember and urge people to remember in November. Remember in November how the Democrats are trying to make sure that the worst harm that comes to people, especially those who live in black neighborhoods, is unchecked by law enforcement, that being crime. Remember all of the promises that have been made about affordability and prosperity and what is truly happening. There are a lot of things that black people should be remembering in November about the way that they've been treated for the last 60 years by people who claim that they wanted to solve the problems of these black communities, yet the problems still exist. And remember how black people are still being used as political pawns. Like with this whole voter ID thing, like black people are too stupid to have IDs. Remember all of it if you want to remember something.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
The cartel is targeting ICE agents, and gangs all across America are banding together to fight this bull. I needed this good news today. You've got to understand, if the cartel and rival gangs coming together to fight you, you up. And I am all for that. Go get them, boys.
Yep, liberal woman urging on the cartel, as she says, cartels, honey. The cartel and the gangs to come together and defeat ICE. And this is what Democrats are supporting. Okay, I'm still getting text and messages and emails from people on this Trump thing, and I had planned to move on, but I'm not going to move on. I read you from the NAACP. This is what Trump, this is a stark reminder of how Trump and his followers truly view people, and we'll remember that in November. All right. If you're going to remember this meme in November, I would like you, as the NAACP suggests, I'd like you to remember a few other things. Okay? Remember that the Democrat Party and the NAACP in particular never saw fit to speak about when Planned Parenthood, which primarily puts its locations in black and Hispanic neighborhoods, when it became known that they were, excuse me for being very graphic, but this is what was taking place inside Planned Parenthood centers. They were dismembering black babies, parts, and selling the parts of aborted black babies. Remember that. Remember that these same people never raised a voice when Kenneth Gosnell was found and prosecuted. It took an Irish filmmaker to actually try to expose that story after it became known in all its gory detail. He's the most prolific serial killer in America. And Democrats never say a word about it. Remember that in the places that the NAACP says you should remember in November, like in Baltimore, we have a clip today from Baltimore of the mayor who gave his wife all kind of perks in Baltimore. And remember that children in Baltimore, especially black children, cannot read, and the numbers are astounding. I think they found, if memory serves me right, only 1, 2, or 3 children that could read on grade level or do math. In other words, over 95% of the children in these predominantly black schools in this city are failing and will never have a life. Remember. Okay, so I'm getting a text. Insults wrapped up in fancy box. Bo is still insults. I'm sad and disappointed. He's our leader and needs to act like a responsible adult. And he was elected to lead us. That means respecting all of us. If he wants to... Look, I understand. I said I am not defending the indefensible. The meme is indefensible. I said it before. It is reprehensible. It is vile. I've said all of that. I also said there are more important things in life than memes. I've been called nigger every time in my life. If you don't have to beep it, I have been called that word. I have been called that word by liberals because of what I believe. I've been called every kind of... I get memes on social media saying to me about stuff with watermelon, fried chicken, you name it. All the stereotypes. And I'm not going to sit around my life and be insulted because somebody said something nasty and mean to me. What do they do is what is important. And what I'm trying to say to many of you, what is it that is happening in the political machinery of America? Right now, you have a president that is trying his best to bring prosperity to your community, to also try to bring... Folks, we have the lowest crime rate in America right now in over 120 years. Thanks to the actions of this president. This affects your neighborhoods, where the killing and the murders and the crimes have been out of control in places like Memphis, in places like New Orleans, in places where in Washington, D.C., for goodness sakes, Chocolate City. These Trump accounts, if you take advantage of those and you're able to compound interest your money to help your family, by the time your kids go from birth to 18 years old, they will have enough money to start businesses. They will be, in some cases, millionaires by the time they are in their 30s. That is more important than a meme. What he's trying to do with education, bring back trades and skills for people instead of warehousing them in these liberal indoctrination centers called schools. That is more important to all Americans, but particularly to black Americans. There are so many policies. The fraud that is being exposed, how your tax dollars are being misused, and it is huge. Impacts you and trying to cut your taxes in and actually help you keep your own money. Impacts you. This meme on social media impacts nobody except for your feelings. Is it reprehensible? Yes. Is it vile? Yes. Is it racist? Yes. That meme is not what is reflective of what's happening in this country. And one of the things that I'm going to continue to say, you know what they used to say in the civil rights movement all the time? Keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the prize. What I'm going to urge my fellow Americans to do is keep your eye on the prize. For the last 60 years, you've been living in neighborhoods where no one cares that your children and your children's children and even your elderly adults are getting murdered, raped, pillaged, robbed. It's just become a way of life. Oh, that's the way it is. Well, this president cares about that and has done something about it. For over almost 5 decades now, Democrats, the party that most black people in America vote for, have said, let's bring in people from other countries and treat them better than we treat the black people living in this country, and in fact, all American citizens, by offering them sanctuary. They don't give your people sanctuary. You see all this fuss about, oh, they separate people from their family. When did the Democrats ever care how many black people in jail have been separated from their families? Or how many Americans in jail? None. None. Okay? Right now, dealing with that immigration thing has huge impacts. Every single policy that is happening on a broad scale, from financial policy to dealing with crime to dealing with education, has the best interest of all Americans, including black Americans, for America to prosper. All right already. His disrespectful comment is like a cow giving a bucket of milk, then turning it around and kicking it over. Okay. It's a meme. It is a racist, vile, disgusting meme. I've said it a bunch of times. It is not the policies that are governing in this nation. Put your own perspective in order of what is important for this country, what is important for your family, what is important for your life. And I'm going to tell you, everything that almost everything, I have and look, don't think I don't see some of the other stuff going on. I'm talking right now specifically to some of my black friends that look. Yes, I know. There's a move right now that's going on to try to supposedly rewrite the history of Medgar Evers and say that his assailant wasn't racist. I don't understand who in this administration thinks that this is something they should be pursuing or why. I didn't understand this whole deal about trying to go after Martin Luther King Jr. with the national parks and in terms of the holiday. That was another. Who in this administration is doing this stuff? I don't know. And not only is it a bad look, it's bad policy. Those aren't the defining policies of the administration. And do I support everything that any president does 100%? No. And there are policies that this administration does that I'm not going to support. But overall, I'm like 99% in. Because the big things that are happening in America will completely bring more Americans to the possibility where they will be able to obtain the American dream. And I'm not going to get deterred in supporting that because of a meme. No matter how vile and reprehensible it is, and no matter how shoddy the excuses are. And let me just say this. There's a lot of outrage now about this. You want to find some outrage? Go read your history. Go read what Thomas Jefferson said about black people. And I happen to be related to that guy through DNA. Go read what George Washington said and did. Go read what Democrat Woodrow Wilson did by instituting Jim Crow on the federal level, throwing black people out of civil service jobs and making state-sponsored segregation the new norm in America. He was a progressive. Go look at what LBJ did with the Great Society and how that disrupted black families, and they're still suffering today because of it. Look at what they do. Don't get caught up with what's being said, either on social media today or in the back. Look at what they do. And Democrats, the party of slavery in America, the party of Jim Crow in America, the party of black oppression in America, has done more and is doing more by their actions to suppress and deny the liberties and freedom of black Americans and their children, and to keep them oppressed in failing schools, crime-ridden neighborhoods, and fiscally distressed lives than any meme ever did. If you're going to get angry over the real stuff, as well as your righteous anger over a meme that is disrespectful and vile. James Golden Snerdley with you here. Fastest hour in American media continues. Whatever you do, don't go away.
Rush. This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Bo Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It's The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
Rush.
Now, here's James Golden.
Today is the birthday of Bob Marley, the heavenly birthday of Bob Marley. Singer, songwriter, and guitarist. I got a text after this meme that this is about self-respect. Nobody can take your self-respect from you if you don't give it away. There are things that are important. Nobody can take your self-respect. Nobody can take your pride. Nobody can take your ambition or determination unless you give it to them. May God bless and protect each and every single one of you, your families, your loved ones. Tomorrow is the Saturday morning radio extravaganza starting at 7 a.m. Would be lovely if you decide to join us. In the meantime, I hope you have a great afternoon. Nobody can take your God-given right to be a fully emancipated, prosperous citizen of the United States of America, if it is your birthright, unless you give it away. I bid you adieu, my friends. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our country has to offer, especially health care. Across every state, every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.